Tuesday. It's Joe. It's time for a Pocket with Joe. Excited for today's show. We have 12 games on the ice tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go over all of these games on the board, give you my leans in each and every one of them. And then we're going to throw together a long shot parlay with my best bets in each of these games. See if we can hit it. Hitting all 12 of these would be sweet tonight. It's going to be great odds. We will build that one together. So let's get started. We got a lot to cover today. A lot of action on the ice. Just want to shout out everyone for watching on YouTube, Twitter. Where else are you guys? Twitch, Facebook, TikTok. If you're on TikTok, I cannot comment on your comments right now, just too hard on these other streams here. Come on over to YouTube, everyone, so I can get those comments in. Or Facebook. I can see them from Facebook as well, and Twitch. Okay, the first game on the board kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. We have the Ottawa Senators taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, Ottawa coming in as the dog in the fight on the road here at plus 168. Now, they've got a record of 4-4 on the season, 0-3 on the road so far. Yet to win a road game, 5-3 on that puck line and 1-2 on the puck line on the road. Forsberg expected in goal for them. He's got a 3.04 goals against average. This team is strong, getting those goals on the board, averaging 3.75 and 32.3 shots on goal. Now, they are allowing the goals to come in as well, and that's what's been killing them, allowing 3.38 goals per game and 34.6 shots on goal. They are coming in rested, and they are strong off rest, you guys. They're 4-1 on their last 5 days, playing on 2 days rest. Now, they've lost their last 2 games. They're taking on a Tampa Bay Lightning team that should be starting Vasilevskiy here. Vasilevskiy has a 2.87 goals against average. We know that he hasn't been playing up to what we thought he would have come out like this season, but he is an elite goalie. He's still getting under those 3 goals per game. This team is averaging 3.11 goals per game and 30.9 shots on goal. They're allowing 3.11 goals per game and 32.2 shots on goal. Now, the Lightning are struggling to put wins, back-to-back wins together. They're 2-6 in their last 8 games following wins. So they are coming off 2 wins. So they were going against that trend in the last one, getting another win. Between these two, we've seen home ice be a huge advantage, going 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. And the Senators struggling in those last 6 meetings, going 1-5 versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Senators team total is something that does interest me. So we have a team total here of 2.5 for the Senators. If you think they can get goals tonight, we're getting that at minus 116. I do see them getting goals unless Vasilevskiy absolutely stands on his head. The last time out between these two was last March. It was a 5-2 win for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we got strong trends to that over, leading me to believe the Senators are going to get their share of goals in this game, with 11-4 of the last 15 meetings going to that over, and 8 of the last 10 in Tampa trending to that over. So I would look at the Senators team total over 2.5. I think this team is just being so solid at getting these goals. I like what I've seen out of them offensively. I can't trust them defensively, especially against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who will be coming at Forsberg really hard in this one tonight. Now, something interesting to look at for a prop bet in this one is Steven Stamkos, the center and captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning, has scored the first goal in 3 of the Lightning's last 4 games against the Eastern Conference. If you take him for the first goal, it's plus 900. Not sure I put a lot of money on that. For him to come out and do it again and hit it 4 out of 5 games is pretty remarkable, but he does lead this team. So it's a nice little sprinkle. Let's move on to the next game on the board, you guys. This one really interests me. We have the Philadelphia Flyers taking on the New York Rangers. Now, we have the Rangers coming in here as a heavy favorite at minus 250. It's unbettable for me at that point. We have a total of 6 in here. The Flyers coming in at plus 202. Now, Carter Hart has been absolutely outstanding. He's expected in goal for the Flyers tonight. He's got a 2.31 goals against average. And when we look at the New York Rangers, and Igor Shesterkin expected in goal for them. He's got a 2.55. So Carter Hart is having a better season than Igor right now, but can he keep this up is the biggest question. I do like what I've seen out of him, and I do like what I've seen out of the Flyers. They are averaging 3 goals and 27.4 shots on goal. So they're being limited in their shots, only allowing, though, their defense is stepping up, 2.63. But those 35.9 shots. So Carter Hart really has to stand on his head against this New York Rangers team. We've seen them go against harder defenses than the Philadelphia Flyers. We saw what they were able to do in some of their past games. So especially, I think it was the Carolina Hurricanes. What did they put up? 6 in that one. Now, the Rangers are coming in here averaging 3.1 goals per game and 36.5 shots on goal. So that's what I mean. Carter Hart really has to stand on his head in this one because the Rangers are going to come with those shots. That's 5th overall in the league. Now the defense is allowing 3 goals per game and 29.2 shots on goal. So they are doing a better job than the Flyers at limiting and protecting their goalie in there. The Flyers have struggled in the last 5 meetings versus New York, only winning 1 of them. But they have been strong in New York, going 7-3 in those last 10 meetings in New York. Strong trends to the favorite. So when I look at this game, you guys, it's a hard one. Carter Hart has to be the answer for the Philadelphia Flyers. I look at them, what they've been able to do on the puck line on the road. They're 3-0 on that puck line on the road, 7-1 on the puck line overall. There is value here grabbing the Philadelphia Flyers plus 1.5 on that puck line at minus 120 to have a solid game against the Rangers. I do think the Rangers probably pull off the win here. Rangers in regulation, you're going to pay a minus 130 to minus 140 in juice. So I think there's a couple ways you can go with that, just depending on who you have more faith in there. What I do think, though, is if the Flyers are keeping this tight, it's because it's a lower scoring game. So I almost like the under 6 better than anything here. I am so sick, though, betting unders in hockey because we haven't seen a lot of these cashing, especially in games when we expect the defenses to play really solid. We have seen those upsets where they haven't cashed in. So while I do like the under, it makes me a little nervous. The under is strong, though, in the last 7 meetings. The Rangers they've made some games go over because of their abilities offensively and their shots on goal. So this will depend on Carter Hart. If Carter Hart has a great night, this game stays under. The Philadelphia Flyers keep it tight, but the weight is all on his shoulders, you guys. The Rangers also playing on 1 day's rest. Strong to that under, going 6-1 in the last 7 on 1 day's rest. And the Flyers 4-1 in their last 5 on the road to that under. You guys, I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys for being here and watching Pocket with Joe. We are here every weekday at 3:30 Eastern. I look forward to talking to you guys, see familiar faces each and every time in the chat. So appreciate you guys so greatly. Make sure while you're here, you hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out trying to get up to over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Really appreciate it, you guys. Let's move on to the next game here. We've got the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Washington Capitals. Now, Vegas is coming in here at minus 150 to minus 160. Again, shop those lines. Go over to BetStamp. Make sure you always get the best value at BetStamp. You can use the referral code Madden. That's MADDEN. Now, this one is an interesting matchup. We have Vegas coming in here so strong. They've won their last 4 games. They're rested. They're going to be flying on that ice tonight. We know how fast Vegas is moving out there on that ice. Logan Thompson is expected in goal. Now, he's been absolutely phenomenal, looking like one of the best goalies right now in the league. 1.69 goals against average. The Vegas Golden Knights are averaging 3.2 goals per game and 34 shots. They're only allowing 1.7 goals per game and 29 shots on goal. So they're leading the league in goals allowed. Now, when we look at the Washington Capitals, Lindgren is expected here. He's got a 3.08 goals against average. This team is averaging 3 goals, but limited to 28 shots on goal. They're allowing 2.8 and 32.8 shots on goal. They lost their last game last night, and I kind of think this team's going to come in with a little bit of tired legs. I think the value here is to take Vegas to keep rolling. We look at the Washington Capitals. They failed to cover the puck line at home following overtime in their last 9 games. So if you like Vegas to win, I think there's reason to sprinkle on that puck line. We've done this a couple of times with Vegas. We did it in that last one where they came out and got that 4-0 win. Drawing a blank on who that was over right now after looking at all these matchups. But Vegas has made us some money so far this season, you guys. On that puck line at -1.5, we're getting a +160. So it's going to be kind of crazy here. Big shout out to everyone again that is in the chat on YouTube. Thanks, guys, so much for joining me. And you're right, we have such a strong slate of goalies out there tonight. It's going to be a good game. Okay. So for this one, I am looking at the Vegas Golden Knights to come out strong. I think they can win it straight up. You could take them. I'm not sure if I'd take them. Yeah, I'd take them in regulation because I do think that they'll cover that puck line. So I'd look at Vegas in regulation. You'll pay it less juice taking it that way. I also think you can sprinkle on that puck line at -1.5 at +160. The Vegas Golden Knights coming in with rest. They're strong. They're 6-1 in their last 7 days, playing on 1 day's rest. I know there's home team advantages here, but we look at the Washington Capitals. They're returning home from a road trip. It was a 4-game road trip. They'll be hitting the road again on Thursday. This is a situational fade for me against the Washington Capitals. I think this is a hard scheduling spot for them. Now, the Vegas Golden Knights have also dominated in this matchup, going 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. The favorite also 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. I think you could also look at Vegas's team total over 3.5. You're getting plus money there. And I think this one probably goes over that total. So let's look at the next game, you guys. Again, I will recap all of these at the end of the show, and then we'll do our long shot parlay. So make sure you stay tuned for that. The Montreal Canadiens taking on the Minnesota Wild. This one kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. The Montreal Canadiens coming in here as the dog. There's some big dogs today, you guys. I don't love when we see these dogs, but with these dogs, there is room to make money on that puck line. Now, Montreal Canadiens +195 on that money line, -245 for the Minnesota Wild, total of 6.5. Jake Allen expected in goal here for the Montreal Canadiens. He's got a 2.86 goals against average. This team is coming out pretty solid on both sides of the puck, with the Montreal Canadiens averaging 3 goals, allowing 3 goals, averaging 29.2 shots on goal and 32.4 shots allowed. Now, they've won their last 2 games. They're game 3 of a 4-game road trip here. They have struggled in Minnesota. They haven't won 1 of their last 8 meetings in Minnesota. They're also 3-14 in their last 17 meetings overall versus Minnesota. Minnesota is just one of those teams that has Montreal's number. Now, Marc-Andre Fleury expected in goal for the Minnesota Wild. This team is averaging 3.33 goals per game and 34.6 shots. So they're getting the shots on goal. Defense is letting them down. Goaltending's letting them down. Marc-Andre Fleury is allowing an average of 3.69 goals per game, and defense is allowing 3.89 and 31.4 shots. So defense and goaltending need to definitely step up. They are so strong on the power play, though, you guys. They're 4th overall in the league. If Montreal gets in that penalty box, the Wild are going to be able to capitalize on that. They won this last matchup on October 25th. 3-1. So they won it, covered the puck line. Now, that was in Montreal. They are 0-4 at home on that puck line, which is surprising to me. 3-6 on the puck line overall. It's a hard one here. They are trending to that over, the Minnesota Wild, going 6-3 to that over. We look at the Montreal Canadiens, 2-2 on that puck line. I have to lean on Montreal to keep this one tight in this. I think if we take them +1.5 at -125, there's value. What I do like better here is looking at this total. The total is 6.5, although it's a high number. I do think we go over that. We've seen strong trends for Montreal on rest, going to that over. 6 of their last 8 games playing on 2 days rest. have gone over the number. And when we look at Minnesota, strong trends as well. 5-1 in their last 6 in a fourth game in a 4-6 situation to that over. So I like both of these defenses to be a little bit tired here, the offenses to be able to capitalize on that, especially until Marc-Andre Fleury gets his feet underneath him and shows me constantly that he can stop these goals. I'm going to be betting a lot of overs when it comes to the Minnesota Wild. In the last 5 meetings between these two teams, we have seen each and every one go to that over as well. Now, a couple of interesting things. The Wild have won the last 11 games as a favorite versus the Montreal Canadiens. Like I said, they really do have Montreal's number, and Montreal has lost the last 7 first periods in Minnesota. So a couple stats to look at, you guys. Yeah, it's hard to trust the Wild right now with what their defense is doing, and you're absolutely right. We got to hit that over. Okay, let's move on to the next game, you guys. Again, we will recap this. I want to thank everyone for watching. I appreciate you guys. It's snowing here. Let me know how the weather is there. I'm looking outside right now. My window is right on the other side of me, and the flakes are coming, but they're not sticking. Oh, gotta love Canadian weather. The Boston Bruins are taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Okay, this matchup right here, you guys, I tell you, the Penguins, if I bet them today, better freaking get it done. We have the Boston Bruins. I don't want to step in front of them. They've won their last 5 games. We're looking at the Pittsburgh Penguins. They've lost their last 4. They lost the road trip. They played the Oilers, the Flames, the Canucks, the Kraken. They're returning home here. They should have got home, I'm assuming, on a Sunday. That last game versus the Kraken was on Saturday. I'm assuming that they've had a little bit of time at home, got their chores done, are ready to come out and prove themselves in front of their home crowd. I like to fade teams off a road trip. Teams off an unsuccessful road trip seem to have a very nice bounce back and get things done. Now, this is game 2 of a road trip for the Boston Bruins. They got a shutout win over the Columbus Blue Jackets on Friday night, and they are back at home. Yeah, back at home versus the Rangers on Thursday. So this is a short road trip for them. I'm not sure if their heads will be in playing this. Yeah, their heads will. I don't know, you guys. Something is telling me I've got to trust the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't want to trust them here. This might be one of those bets where I look at the Penguins in the first period to come out strong in the first period at home. I just love what I'm seeing out of the Boston Bruins. I don't want to step in front of them. Allmark expected in goal. He's got a 1.7 goals against average. Tristan Jarry, 3.03 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, when we look at Boston, they are scoring the most goals in the league at 4.2 on average and 35.2 shots. The Pittsburgh Penguins are scoring an average of 3.56 and 37.2 shots on goal. Boston's defense is phenomenal, only allowing 2.33 goals per game, which is second best overall in 31 shots. And we have the Pittsburgh Penguins allowing that 3.22 and 35 shots. It's really hard for me to take the Pittsburgh Penguins here. I can see the situation where they get this win at home. Just not sure if I'm going to put my money there. It's just a tough one. Now, they have covered the puck line at home as a favorite in their last 4 games. Now, they're 3-0 on that puck line at home this season as well. So we're not getting – we would have to take them at -1.5. There is no way that I'm taking them on the puck line. If they come out and get a big win, I would rather say, congratulations to everyone who bet it. I'm just going to stay off betting them. I just don't like what I'm seeing so far out of the Penguins. I can't trust them enough. And the Boston Bruins have struggled in Pittsburgh, but I don't want to step in front of this team. They're too hot right now. They're 2-9 in their last 11 meetings. So if you guys have the Canunas, what is it called? Kahunas to step in front of the Boston Bruins on this win streak. By all means, you guys, I really hope you hit it. I'm going to stay off it in hopes that you guys hit it. Let's look at the next one on the board. This is an interesting one. The New York Islanders taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, this is 8:30 Eastern tonight. The New York Islanders coming in here as a huge favorite at -205, plus 168 for the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, I love right away the Islanders here on the puck line at -1.5. And this is why. Seth Jones is expected to be out for 3 to 4 weeks for the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, he was one of their top defensemen. He had the most time on the ice. He was averaging, I think it was 25 minutes per game on the ice. I think the Chicago Blackhawks next man up situation does come about, but I do think that they're going to struggle without Seth Jones here. So I'm looking for the Islanders to come out and dominate in this game. Sorokin is expected for them. He has a 2.21 goals against average. Stalock expected for the Chicago Blackhawks. He's got a 2.95. What I'm looking for is this Blackhawks team to be limited for their shots on goal. The Islanders are allowing 32.7, but the Blackhawks just aren't getting those shots on goal at 26.1. So I think this is a great spot for the Islanders. You can't take them straight up on that money line. It's too high. On the puck line, I love it. You're getting that at plus 140. Now, the Islanders have struggled in Chicago, going 2-8 in the last 10, but I'm throwing that out of the door with Seth Jones out. I just think this is a perfect spot for the Islanders to have a phenomenal game. They're strong off of rest too, going 5-0 in their last 5 games, playing on 2 days rest. They're also strong versus the Western Conference, going 6-2 in their last 8. So when I look at the trends for this one, we do see that the underdog has been strong, but again, no, Seth Jones is a huge difference maker for me against the New York Islanders. And when we look at the totals here, these two teams, when they play each other, trend to that under. I'm not buying it in this one. I do think we're going to get the goals. The Islanders are 5-1 in their last 6 versus the Central to the over, and the Blackhawks 6-1 in their last 7 overall to that over. We got a total of 6. I'm going to hit it over. I love it in this one, and I love the Islanders on that puck line. Let's move on to the next game, you guys. Like I said, we're going over all of these games today, so appreciate you guys for being here on Puck It with Joe. The LA Kings taking on the Dallas Stars. This is going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be prime and center on my TV. Cal Peterson expected for the LA Kings. Now, he's got a 4.1 goals against average. The defense of the Kings is really allowing those shots on goal at 30.8 and a 3.82 goals per game. Now, do I want the defense to step up for the Kings? Absolutely. I think they need more protection on their goaltending between Cal Peterson and Jonathan Quick. They need that support. Now, this team is averaging 3.64 goals per game and 33.1 shots. Dallas coming in here, not starting Ottinger now. Ottinger in the Saturday game versus the Rangers did get pulled in this. Well, he didn't get pulled. He left in the second period. I believe he had taken only 10 shots. 8 of those he saved. And he left actually because of an injury. It looks like it's a lower back or body injury off the top of my head. I can't remember which one that was. So he is going to be out for a little while. Scott Wedgwood expected to start here. He's got a 4.29 goals against average. Now, the defense of the Stars is phenomenal. They're only allowing an average of 2.33 goals per game and 31 shots. Now, they lost their last game to the Rangers. Like I said, that was a 6-3 loss for the Dallas Stars. Really surprising. I was riding that under in that one. I really thought the Dallas Stars would come out strong. But with Ottinger leaving, I'm not sure if he had that injury before the game started or what happened there. So I think that was kind of an off one. Now, the Kings have been doing really solid. They've won their last 2 games. We know they've got some upsets. We got them at plus 100 last night. A lot of people looking to say, well, the Kings can't win another one back-to-back. Kings are strong in the back-to-back situation and the 3-4 situation. They're 6-2 in their last 8 on the third game of a 3-4. And on the road, on no days rest, they've gone 7-2 in their last 9. So I'm not worried about tired legs for this LA Kings team. They have struggled a little bit versus, well, not a little bit, a lot versus the Dallas Stars, going 1-4 in the last 5 meetings. So that's one thing to consider. The Stars are strong versus the Western Conference. I think at minus 152 here for the Dallas Stars, it's a little too pricey to bet straight up for me. I don't like going above minus 144. We look at Dallas off a loss in the next game as a favorite. They have won their last 6. So they are playing strong off a loss. I think this would be a nice get right situation for them. With Ottinger, and I have more faith in the Stars. Scotch Wedgwood is still solid for them, but I don't know if I can get there. Now, the Kings and Dallas are both trending to that under. Dallas is trending to the under. Kings are trending to the over. I think without Ottinger today, we got to trend to that over. When I was looking at a couple things with the Dallas Stars, with Wedgwood in, we're more likely to hit that over. So with this total of 6, I'm going to hit it over. I do think Dallas in regulation might be a nice way to go. This Kings team is just playing so solid. So this is probably one where I'm just going to bet that over in it. Let's move on to the next game, you guys. We got the Nashville Predators taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Now, the Oilers coming in as a favorite at home at minus 166. We got plus 138 for the Nashville Predators here. Saros expected in goal for the Preds. He's got a 2.75 goals against average. This team not getting the goals this season. They're only averaging 2.44 goals per game and 30.9 shots on goal. Jack Campbell expected for the Edmonton Oilers. We know he's let in some doozies, but when he's hot, Jack Campbell's hot. We haven't really seen it so far for Edmonton. He's got a 3.88 goals against average. We know the offense of the Edmonton Oilers is so incredible, averaging 3.78 goals per game and 33 shots on goal. Now, they are defensively, again, struggling, allowing that 3.11 and 35 shots on goal, while the Nashville Predators are allowing those shots as well, 31.9 and 3.11 goals per game. So defensively, I think both of these teams are pretty similar. Goaltending wise, Saros definitely has the advantage here, but offensively, the Edmonton Oilers, their top lines are just they're so much better than the Nashville Predators. The Preds are coming off a loss. Edmonton has won their last 4 games. They beat the Penguins, the Blues, the Blackhawks, and my Calgary Flames. I blame that loss solely on Markstrom. So he can do what he likes with that. I'm blaming it on him all day long. He should have stayed in his goal and not got behind there. Anyway, so the Predators have struggled in Edmonton against Edmonton. They're 0-4 in their last 4 meetings. In Edmonton, they're also 0-6 in their last 6 meetings. So I can't see the Predators coming in here, even though they've got the better goaltending and getting this win. We need Jack Campbell to have a stronger game against the Predators that only averaged 30.9 shots on goal. I do think we have the opportunity for him to have a better game. The Preds have also lost their last 5 games as an underdog, and they've struggled on the road, going 1-5 in their last 6 games on the road. I really liked what I saw out of Hyman in the last game versus Calgary for the Edmonton Oilers. He came out so strong, getting 2 goals. This team is deep. It's just not the Connor McDavid and the Draisaitl show. They have got so much talent on it, and you guys know that I wouldn't say that unless it was true, because I do not like the Edmonton Oilers, but I do think that they can come out here strong in this one. So minus 166, it's too much for me to take them here. I think we can look at them here on the puck line at minus 1.5. I don't have those odds up in front of me, but they are 3-3 at home on that puck line. I'm looking for a dominating win out of them in this one. I think they come out so strong. Now, interesting, Draisaitl has scored the last goal in 5 of the Oilers' last 7 games against the Predators. So if you're looking for a last goal scorer, that might be a way to go. We've seen strong trends to this under between these 2 teams. I don't see that under cashing, honestly, but I'm not going to bet the total here. I was actually surprised it didn't come out at 7, to be honest with you. We just know the firepower of the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to stay off the total. If you're looking for a total, the only thing I'd do would be to take the Edmonton Oilers team total over. That is at 3.5. So I would look at that if you're not paying too much juice. But I think the Edmonton Oilers come in, get things done. Again, we're relying on Jack Campbell to stand on his head. He has to. And against his Predators team that isn't that strong offensively, I think he'll be able to have a solid game. So give me the Edmonton Oilers on the puck line. And again, you guys, I wouldn't say it unless I believed it here for the Edmonton Oilers. The next game, 9 o'clock Eastern, we have the Seattle Kraken taking on my Calgary Flames. Now, Calgary coming in here at minus 250 on that money line. And it looks like all the money is going in on Calgary. The Seattle Kraken coming in here as a huge dog, only 24% of the money on them. It's plus 198 if you believe that the Seattle Kraken have any hope here. The total has jumped from 6 to 6.5. Now, Martin Jones expected for the Seattle Kraken. He's got 3.09 goals against average. This team is getting the shots on goal at 32.3 and averaging 3.3 goals per game. We look at them defensively. While they're allowing 3.4 goals per game, they're second overall in the league at limiting the shots on goal. They're holding opponents to 26.1 shots on goal. I love to see that. Now, they won their last game 4-1 over the Penguins. And when we look at them off a win, this is another team that is struggling to get back-to-back wins. So they've lost their last 5 games following that win. It's a hard one when you're up and down roller coaster team like this. They just can't string it together. We know there's so many teams in the league that can't string these things together. And they're on a hard road trip, in my opinion. This is game 1 that they have the Wild and then the Penguins on deck. So whoever made the schedule for the Seattle Seahawks kind of doesn't like them, I don't think. Now, the Kraken are solid on the puck line. On the road, though, they're 3-1 on the puck line and 6-4 on the puck line overall this season. So grabbing them here on the puck line, I think there's value versus the Calgary Flames. We know how strong Calgary is. Now, Markstrom isn't expected in goal. We got Vlader coming out. He's got a 3.03 goals against average. This team is averaging 3.43 goals per game. And they are just destroying goalies with those shots on goal, coming out with 37.4 shots on goal per game, which is 3rd overall in the league. Defensively, really stepping up as well, allowing that 2.86 goals and 27.6 shots on goal. So both of these teams are going to come out strong, limiting those shots on goal today of their opponents. Calgary is coming off that loss from Edmonton. Now, Calgary has dominated this matchup versus Seattle, winning the last 4. I just don't trust them here at home on that puck line. They're 2-4 on that puck line at home. The Flames are coming in rested, though. They're very strong off of rest. I don't like going against Calgary. I do think there's value, though, in the Seattle Kraken on that puck line to keep it tight. Calgary's team total is something that I do like more. You can get them over 3.5 tonight at minus 112. And I think there's such value there. I do see them coming out strong. I don't think Martin Jones and the defense of the Seattle Kraken are going to stop Calgary from scoring. So I'm going to take Calgary's team total over that 3.5. I think that's the best way to take this game. Okay. Who's getting tired? You guys getting tired of listening to me? I want to thank you guys so much. Not sure if it's Jones. Okay, I can't. I'm live on TikTok right now as well. So hi guys, everyone on TikTok. I just went to check on my app to see if it's Jones or not. If you guys want to update me on who the goalie is expected for the Seattle Kraken, let me know there. Let's look at the next one because last time I checked, it was Martin Jones. We have the Florida Panthers taking on the Arizona Coyotes. Now this is at 6:15. This is at 10 p.m. Eastern. We got a total of 6.5. Looking at the wrong thing, you guys. We have lots of people on the Florida Panthers here with Bobrovsky expected. He's got a 3.07 goals against average. This team coming out strong. They're getting those shots on goal, 2nd overall in the league at 39.2 shots on goal. It's going to be a long day for the goalie of the Coyotes. He's going to have to really step up. Velmelkovich, I cannot pronounce his name properly. He's got a 4.41 goals against average. Now, the Arizona Coyotes, are completely struggling on both sides of the net. They're only averaging 2.88 goals per game, 22.5 shots on goal. These teams are completely limiting the Coyotes, and against the Panthers, who are holding teams to 28.5 shots on goal per game. This is going to be a hard one. Now, the Coyotes come in here losing their last two at home versus the Jets and the Rangers. But when we look at the Florida Panthers, they've won their last games versus the Sens. So sorry, someone just came into my house. Kind of freaked me out for half of a second. It's just my kid. So anyway, let's get back to this. You guys, the Panthers are 2-5 in their last 7 road games. We see the Panthers also 4-1 in their last 5 meetings. Now, the favorite has been strong between these two, going 7-2 in those last 9 meetings. But when we look at the Florida Panthers, they failed to cover the puck line following a win in their last 6 games. Home ice has been a huge advantage for these teams as well, going 11-4 in the last 15 meetings overall. I don't want to back the Arizona Coyotes here, but I do look at them at home on that puck line. They have kept games tight. They're 2-0 at home on that puck line. I can't really get behind the Florida Panthers. This is probably a stay-off game for me. If anything, it would be the Coyotes to keep it tight. I can see a case where the Florida Panthers come out and just steamroll over them, or this to be a really tight game. I think one way I do like it, though, is the Coyotes. If you think they can get the goals, I think Bobrovsky can give up a couple here. We got a team total for the Arizona Coyotes of 2.5, and I do like that to the over. Hitting it to the over is plus 100. Okay, let's look at the next one. We've got the New Jersey Devils taking on the Vancouver Canucks, you guys. The Devils coming in here, a minus 114 here on the money line. Slight favorites over the Vancouver Canucks. The Vancouver Canucks minus 105 and a total of 6.5. Now, Blackwood is expected in goal for the Devils. He's got a 2.82 goals against average. Demko riding a 4.05. Now, both of these teams are strong, getting those goals, both averaging over 3 goals per game. What I like out of the Devils, though, is they are really getting these shots on goal at 39.3 shots on goal, compared to the Vancouver Canucks, who are only coming in at 27.9 shots on goal per game. Now, the Devils are strong defensively, only allowing 2.56 goals per game and limiting opponents to 21.7 shots on goal. So they're getting the shots and limiting the shots. They are being absolutely phenomenal out there. Vancouver can't trust their defense. They're allowing that average of 3.89 goals per game and 32.6 shots. They have won their last 2 games. Now the Devils come in here. They've won their last 3 games. Game 1, this is game 1 of a 3-game road trip. They've got Edmonton and Calgary on deck. So this is a hard road trip. They have to get past Vancouver because their next 2 games are going to be harder than the Vancouver Canucks here. Now, the Devils have dominated in the last 13 meetings, winning 11 of those over the Vancouver Canucks. They're also 5-1 in those last 6 meetings in Vancouver. There is home ice advantage, but I am not buying into it here. I think the Devils come out and have a big win. We're paying a short price at minus 114. The Devils also in this matchup, I think this total 6.5 is too low or too high. I think what we're going to see is the Devils completely limiting the Canucks here. They're only allowing their opponents 21.7 shots on goal, and I think this is another game where the Devils will limit the Vancouver Canucks because they're only coming in here averaging 27.9. So strong trends to that under. I love the under 6.5 here. I think it's the best way to go with this bet and with this game. But I do think the Devils come out and get the win. I like them at minus 114. This is another one. You know, we've looked at a couple of these games, and it's almost like, why are we getting the Devils at such a good price here? It leads me to believe that maybe Vancouver picks up this win. So that's why I think I like the total under 6.5 better than this. Let's move on to the next game, you guys, if I can pull it up here. The next game on the board, we have the Anaheim Ducks taking on the San Jose Sharks. Now, this is the last game of the night, right? Yeah, this is our last game of the night. This is at 10:30 Eastern. Don't chase with this game, you guys. These two teams are pretty unpredictable and not great teams at all. We got a total of 6 in this one. Sharks coming in here at -134 on that money line at home. The Ducks at +112. John Gibson expected for the Anaheim Ducks. He's got a 4.23 goals against average. Kanokin expected, if that's how I pronounce his name. He's confirmed for the San Jose Sharks. He's got a 3.32 goals against average. He's 1-3 on the season. Now, the Sharks have not been performing well offensively, averaging only 2.1 goals per game and 27.3 shots on goal. The Ducks, 2.2 and 27.2 shots on goal. Both of these defenses, though, are giving up the goals left, right, and center, with the Ducks allowing 4.2 and the San Jose Sharks allowing 3.09. So I look at this. The Ducks are coming off a win. The Sharks are coming off a loss. The Ducks have dominated in San Jose, going 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. They're also 6-1 in the last 7 meetings, but they have lost their last 11 as an underdog following overtime and in the first period. They are coming in with tired legs off that overtime. I can't trust either of these teams. I don't want to put money on either of these teams. If you're looking at what they can do offensively, you have to bet the under, because neither of these teams are getting the points on the board. If you're looking at what their defense is giving up, you have to bet the over, because neither of these teams are stopping anything. So which will we get coming out? I think we're going to get a higher scoring game. I'm going to go with the over 6.5, or sorry, it's a solid 6 in this one, and just hope someone can score a goal, because we know how bad both of these teams are. These offenses have to step up. So you guys, let's do a recap. That was all 12 of these games. We are 42 minutes into the show. I appreciate you guys for coming. Okay, let's recap this, and then we'll build our parlay. So the first game, the Ottawa Senators and the Tampa Bay Lightning. When I look at this game, I have to take the Senators team total over 2.5. I think that's a strong way to go. I also do like that over 6.5. And Steven Stamkos, if you like for the last goal, or sorry, for the first goal, that's at +900. He has scored the first goal in 3 out of the last 4 versus the Eastern Conference. When we look at the Philadelphia Flyers and the New York Rangers, I have faith in the Rangers to keep this tight at +1.5 at -120. So strong so far this season on that puck line, and the under 6. Again, this is all going to rely on Carter Hart to stand on his head in this game. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Washington Capitals, I've got to roll with the Vegas Golden Knights on that money line in regulation, and then I'm going to take them also on that puck line at -1.5 at +160. I absolutely love that plus money. I like Vegas's team total over 3.5 as well, and I think we do have an over style game in this one. The next game on the board, we have the Montreal Canadiens and the Minnesota Wild. Until the Wild and Fleury get their act together defense and goaltending wise, I'm going to take the overs in these games. So give me the over. I also like Montreal here on the puck line at +1.5 at -125. I do think they can keep this one tight in this game. The Boston Bruins and the Pittsburgh Penguins. I hate this game, you guys, so much. I don't want to step in front of Boston. Situational wise, I think Boston might let this one go. I don't want to bet the Penguins. They've cost me too much freaking money. You guys do what you want in this one. Everything is screaming at me to take the Penguins tonight. I'm staying off it. If you were going to take it, or if I was going to take it, I might take Pittsburgh in the first period to come out strong in that first period. And then I think we got a lower scoring one in this one. So give me the under 6.5 with defenses stepping up. The New York Islanders and the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm going against all trends, taking the Islanders here on the puck line at -1.5 at +140. The Blackhawks without Seth Jones have to prove themselves to me. That is a huge blow to this team. And because he's out, and because the Islanders have been putting up those goals, I've got to go with the over in that game. The LA Kings and the Dallas Stars, you guys, I want to take the Kings here, but I don't think they get it done. I'm going to take the Dallas Stars. I'd have to take them in regulation in this one because there's too much juice otherwise. And when I look at these two teams, that total, I just can't get there. It opened at 6.5. Now down to 6. We know the Kings trend to the under, the Dallas Stars trend to the under, Kings to the over. If I was going to take this thinking the Dallas Stars are going to win, it's because it's got to be a lower scoring game. I'm just going to stay off that because we've got Scotch Wedgwood in. I think Scotch Wedgwood makes this one go over. So at 6, I would lean to that over, even though my gut is telling me it might go under the total. So I'm off the total in that one. The Nashville Predators and the Edmonton Oilers. I've got to lean on the Edmonton Oilers here on the puck line to come out and completely dominate in this game over the Nashville Predators. You guys know it makes me sick to even say that. And I could see this being a lower scoring game. For it to happen, Jack Campbell has to stand on his head for the Edmonton Oilers to come out that strong. The Seattle Kraken and the Calgary Flames. I do like the Calgary Flames team total. I'm going to take that over 3.5. It's the only thing I'm taking in this one. I'm not in love with anything else. The Florida Panthers and the Arizona Coyotes. I think the Arizona Coyotes team total over 2.5 is the most interesting in this one to me at plus 100. If they can get these goals on Bobrovsky, they probably do keep it tight on that puck line at plus 1.5. At plus 100 because they are strong on that puck line at home going 2-0 this season. But I think if we take the over 2.5 goals, that's the safest way to go because then we're not worried about that empty netter. So I could see it coming in and I could see this one being 4-3. The Coyotes pulling their goalie and then the Panthers scoring that goal and screwing up that puck line. So I think the over 2.5 goals is safer. The New Jersey Devils and the Vancouver Canucks. This is going to be a really interesting one. I think the Devils come out and get the win. Minus 114, I think it's definitely worth it. And I think the under 6.5 is a strong way to go with this game. The Anaheim Ducks and the San Jose Sharks. This is a gross game, you guys. I don't want to bet this game. If I had to take anything, it'd be the over 6. Look for these teams to be able to score goals on goaltenders that aren't living up to expectations, defenses that aren't giving the support. You know, we know the Sharks defense has been that little bit better. Sharks might get this win at home at minus 134. Do I really want to put money on a Sharks team that is 3-8 on the season, 1-5 at home? They are 4-2 on the puck line. No value here. You can't take the Sharks to come out and dominate over the Ducks. The Ducks are 2-6, 2-7 on that puck line, 1-5 on the puck line on the road. So you could make a case, but this is an ugly, ugly, ugly game. Let's quickly build the long shot parlay, you guys. And then I'm going to go heat up my coffee. It's been sitting here the whole time, talked so much that I haven't, it's going to be cold. So let's build this long shot parlay. So the Ottawa Senators and the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm going to put the Sens team total over 2.5. The Flyers and the Rangers. I'm going to take the Flyers on the puck line. Plus 1.5. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Washington Capitals. Okay, for the parlay, if I'm parlaying it, I'm taking Vegas money line because that money line in a parlay is okay. Remember, Vegas on the puck line is one of my favorite bets of the day at plus 160. It is worth every single cent of that sprinkle. The Montreal Canadiens and the Minnesota Wild. I think the best way to take this is to take the over 6.5. The Wild and Montreal. Sorry, I'm writing this down. I got to put it in right after here, you guys. I haven't got the odds for you, but I will post the odds below. The Boston Bruins and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh my God, what am I going to do with this game? I'm not including this. I hate this game right now. I can see the Penguins winning this one. But I'm not stepping in front of the Boston Bruins. I love what I'm seeing out of the Boston Bruins. I think they're so strong right now. I'm not risking this parlay because of the Penguins. The Penguins, Penguins and Predators. Something about these 2P teams, they just do me dirty. The New York Islanders for the parlay. I'll throw the New York Islanders in regulation into this. But I love the New York Islanders to win big here on that puck line at plus 140. So I'm writing these down because I'm also going to do that puck line parlay as well for you guys. The LA Kings and the Dallas Stars. I think Dallas in regulation is where I have to go with this. This one I'm not absolutely in love with. When I look at the Predators and the Edmonton Oilers, I'm going to take the Edmonton Oilers just straight up on that money line. And then I'm going to take Edmonton puck line for my best bet in that game. When we look at the Seattle Kraken and the Calgary Flames, I've got to take Calgary's team total over 3.5. I hope you guys are writing this down with me. Let's make some freaking money tonight. The Florida Panthers and the Arizona Coyotes. Again, this is a game that I do not love. I think Arizona's team total over 2.5 would be worth putting in here. I'm leaving it off. I don't want it in here. I feel like it's just going to jinx us. The New Jersey Devils and the Vancouver Canucks. I'm taking the Devils on the money line here at minus 114. I think they come out and have a strong game. I also think it's lower scoring. The Anaheim Ducks and the San Jose Sharks, I'm leaving it out. I don't like this game. So the long shot parlay. You ready, guys? Grab a pen. It's the Senators team total over 2.5. The Flyers on the puck line plus 1.5. The Vegas Golden Knights on the money line. The Wild and the Montreal Canadiens over. That was over 6.5. The New York Islanders in regulation, the Dallas Stars in regulation, the the Edmonton Oilers on the money line, the Calgary Flames over 3.5, and the New Jersey Devils at minus 114. Now, my 3 favorite bets of the day, we're hitting all of these teams here on the puck line for a big win. Let me just see what Edmonton is on the puck line. I don't want to give it to you guys without having these odds. Okay, Edmonton here on the puck line is minus 1.5 at plus 154. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take Edmonton on the puck line. We're going to take the New York Islanders on the puck line and the Vegas Golden Knights on the puck line. This is my favorite parlay of the day. These 3 teams right here, I think every single one of them has the opportunity to get a 2-point win in this game. Now, this one plays plus 1411. So $10 pays you back $141.12. That is my favorite parlay of the day. Bet these all individually. We know one of them will screw up, but if we're doing a long shot parlay, I got to take them here on the puck line. You could put all 3 on the money line. Let me just see what those odds are there for you guys on that money line for all 3 of these teams. If you take all 3 of these teams on the money line, $10 pays you out $29.29. So you're still making a lot of profit there taking the money line. But you guys, thanks for joining me for Puck It with Joe. It was 54 minutes. I am going to bookmark this. Before I bookmark this, I need my cup of Joe. You're right. I need my cup of Joe, you guys. It is freezing, snowing outside. I should have worn my sweatshirt. I'm cold. Let's make some freaking money tonight on the ice. Thank you, guys. I will be back tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. Again, make sure you like this video and subscribe over on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. If you're looking for Fanatics items as well, below in this description is a link. They've got some great specials happening right now. So guys, have a great day. I enjoyed each and every minute with you guys, and thanks for being in the comments. We'll talk soon.